Hi, I'm Danielle and welcome to my perfume journal. In this video, I'm going to be talking about my safe blind buy list. Now, I think lots of people would probably argue that there's no such thing as a safe blind buy, and in theory, I would agree with that. Blind buying is not something I do unless I'm adding something to my safe blind buy list and purchasing off of that list. There are some things that I do to keep my blind buying within reason, especially within budgetary reason. I am a regular person on a regular budget. I do not have endless dollars to be spending on this perfume habit. However, I love perfume and I love expanding my collection, discovering new things, and keeping a safe blind buy list is one way that I am able to do those things. So I'm going to share my current safe blind buy list with you and then let you know like what I do to add perfumes to my safe blind buy list. And then I'll show you 7 of my most successful safe blind buys. So here is my 2025 safe blind buy list in my perfume journal. Last year's perfume journal was a mess. It looked like a 5-year-old wrote it because I was just like scribbling down on pages every time I wore something, every time I found something. And this year, because I glammed up my perfume journal, I love looking at my safe blind buy list. I will write down the name of a perfume as I come across it for whatever reason. Maybe it's because I've been searching for a particular note, or I'm down a perfumer rabbit hole, or I'm interested in a particular scent profile like woody perfumes or incense perfumes. And as I'm, kind of scrolling around on Parfumo and then flipping over to some of the shops where I like to look for perfumes, if I come across something that is number 1, under $50, and number 2, looks like it's interesting to me, and number 3, available, I will add it to my safe blind buy list. And then when I have a little bit of extra money or I'm making my perfume purchases for the month, if I pick up one of these perfumes from my safe blind buy list, I color in the little circle, and at the end of the year, I can see how many safe blind buys I've added to the list, how many were successful, and maybe how many were catch and release perfumes. So that is my safe blind buy list strategy. That is one of the ways that I stay within my perfume budget every month and yet still am able to really enjoy this interest, this hobby, without breaking the bank. Okay, I don't know if I'm sophisticated enough to do this, but let's give it a try. So let's say it's a Saturday afternoon and I have like an hour to myself and I'm going to make a cup of tea. I'm going to sit down on the couch for a little bit and I'm going to do some perfume browsing. So I open up Parfumo. That is my fragrance database of choice. And I use the web-based version because the app isn't great for browsing by fragrance note. Okay, so I'm going to open up the search function. I'm going to click this little arrow and I'm going to filter by the notes I am currently interested in. So right now I'm into powdery florals, specifically yellow florals. So right now I am looking for a mimosa-based perfume, preferably with some heliotrope. So let's see what they have here. We have 181 perfumes in the database. So let's start browsing. All right. So we have Lulu. I already have that. Bee, which I love, but way too expensive for the safe blind buy list. Poem. Oh, I loved that perfume. Paris. Loved that. Okay. Habanita. Already have that on the list. Mimosa and cardamom. Already have that. Love mimosa. Too expensive. Keep going. Okay. So, Swan Princess. What's that? That looks interesting. That is a 2014 perfume by the Vagabond Prince. I've never heard of this brand before. The bottle looks like it might be in the safe blind buy category. You do enough perfume shopping and you start to see things that jump out at you as like, ooh, that could be a safe blind buy. Let's take a look. Okay, powdery, floral, sweet, creamy, woody. Yes, all 5 of those things. Check my boxes. We've got top notes of cyclamen, violet leaf, bergamot. Ooh, carrot seed. I love a carrot seed note. Violet Ida by Miller Harris, one of my favorite perfumes, has carrot seed. So That is jumping out at me. Citron Violet, Moroccan Rose, love that lipsticky vibe. Orris Concrete, Osmanthus, Peony, Geranium, Lily of the Valley, Mimosa, there's the Mimosa, and White Freesia. And then in the base, we have cedarwood, heliotrope, musk, and moss. Love. Okay. Ooh, Bertrand Duchaufour is the perfumer. We love that. We love his perfumes. And don't care about the ratings because I will make up my own mind. Okay, so this is jumping out at me as a possible perfume for the blind buy list. I have no idea how much this costs. I don't know if it's even still available, but here's what I will do. I will open up my collection. I will add it to my watch list. If I then take this into the next phase, which is like looking it up to see if it's available and how much it is, and I like it and I find it and it's inexpensive enough, then I will add it to this Safe Blind Buy List shelf that you see right here. So see that? I'll just tap on it so you can see. Okay, so it's not on there yet, but that's what I do. So now if you want to see my Safe Blind Buy List, my electronic version, I have my journal paper version, which is really mostly, like an exercise and relaxation. But I do keep this electronically as well because, a perfume lover needs multiple media to keep track of everything when it is your favorite hobby. Okay, so I'm going to close this out and I'm going to scroll back up to my profile. I'm going to go to my collection. Go to my shelves. You can see I do this a lot. And I'm going to go to my Safe Blind Buy shelf, and here they are. So these are all perfumes that I have searched for through my little, browsing technique. And if I have looked them up and found that they are A, under $50, and B, something I'm interested in potentially purchasing, I add them to this shelf. And if I have, like a few extra dollars lying around, or it's the month is turning over and I'm refreshing my perfume balance for the month, then I might pick up 1, 2, 3, 4 of these, depending on how much they are. But this is how I do it. So let's see, what's on my Safe Blind Buy list right now? We have Starlight Gold from Enier. We have Christian Lacroix Rouge. We have Benetton Purple. I would love to find this one. This one, I actually added it to the list, but I'm having a hard time actually finding this. Plumetis by Gallimard. I don't remember why I added this to the list, but okay. Let's see. Oh, my beloved Oscar from Oscar de la Renta. Okay, so yep, I've updated this in February. I usually kind of like refresh it every month, see what I have, see what I've added, what do I want to maybe take off of the list, but this is my little technique. This is what works for me. I love doing this. It's fun. It's a way to relax. And this is how I add to my Safe Blind Buy list. All right, now let's end this and see if it worked. So the first perfume on my successful Safe Blind Buy list is Rose Noir from Giorgio Valenti. This is a perfume that came out in 1985, and it is still in production. It is a powdery iris rose, but in true 80s fashion, it has a little bit of 80s stuff in it. It has some geranium that gives it a little bit of greenness, and it has oak moss in the base, which gives it that, mossy vibe that a lot of 80s perfumes have. I think I paid $9 for this 100 ml bottle of perfume. It's great. I love wearing it, and it is definitely one of my most successful blind buys. So next we have Violetta di Bosco from I Profumi di Firenze. This is from a house that also goes by the name of Spezieri Palazzo Vecchio, and it's a family-owned business. I heard about this perfume from someone on another social media platform, and it piqued my interest because I was in a violet mood. And so I was able to pick up this bottle. It's a little bit hard to find in North America, but I was able to grab this bottle. And this is the loveliest perfume representation of Parma violet candies that I think I've ever smelled. This is like when that little pack of square-shaped Parma violet candies would get all crushed up at the bottom of like grandma's purse. This is exactly what that perfume smells like. And it's probably, I think I paid maybe $30 for this bottle of perfume. It's wonderful, and again, super successful blind buy. Here we have Adorum from Nez. Nez also publishes a perfume-centric magazine. This perfume was a collaboration between the perfumer Fabrice Pellegrin and a chef that I'm sorry, I can't remember his name, but this is a perfume that I decided to blind buy. I think it was under $50. Well, I know it was under $50 because my safe blind buy list is always under $50. When I was in like an incense phase, I was really looking for churchy incenses of all different types because they were just interesting me at the time. Anyway, this is a very chocolatey incense. It does have that smokiness, that resinous quality that, every incense perfume has, but there's this velvety, smooth underpinning from the cocoa note that really makes this perfume stand out and has turned into becoming my favorite incense perfume of all time. So this is Kenzo Amour. This is another variation on the powdery theme that I'm very fond of. This is mostly a heliotrope perfume, but it has a note of rice steam at the top. And so that rice steam note gives it like a nuttiness, almost like an almondy quality that I think is beautiful. And look at that bottle. Is that not gorgeous? It is so striking on the shelf, and the liquid inside is just as beautiful as the vessel that contains it. So this is Lovely You from Sarah Jessica Parker. I feel like I always want a bunch of musky florals around me to choose from. This musky floral is airy, it's a little bit creamy, it's definitely not as sharp as the original Lovely. It's a great everyday reach, and I really love that it comes in smaller bottle sizes. I feel like the more I add perfumes to my collection, the more I look for smaller bottle sizes. 50 ml, 30 ml, even 15 is perfect for me. There's no way I'm ever going to use up all of the 100 ml bottles that I have. So if I can find a bottle that is a smaller size and the perfume strikes my fancy, all the better. Another perfume from Sarah Jessica Parker. This is the Iconic Stash. This is literally my only successful hype buy like ever. I saw so many people talking about this perfume. I can't believe I had never smelled it before. Found a tester for like $30. That's why it has that cardboard sleeve covering the atomizer. Picked it up and fell in love. This is a beautiful, woody, aromatic, peppery, spicy, resinous perfume. It has that very unique note of Masoya wood, which is sort of a soothing, floral, sweet wood. And it's so unique. This is such an interesting perfume. I feel like you could peel the label of this perfume off, stick this bottle on a shelf in a very posh, niche boutique, and people would pick it up and smell it and absolutely think that it was a super expensive niche perfume. It's one of my favorites in my collection and one of my most successful blind buys. And finally, we have Blanc from Courrèges. This is another one of my powdery florals. I picked this one up because it had everything I loved in a powdery floral: rose, heliotrope, iris, orris root. And I was expecting this to be sort of dry, talcum powdery, but this surprised me quite a bit because of the lychee note. It gave it sort of like a bouncy, fruity quality that separated this from other powdery, soft floral perfumes in my collection. And the bottle itself, I would have purchased this perfume just for the bottle. I think this was like $22. I think the bottle is super cool, super 70s looking. And this may actually be my favorite blind buy in my entire collection. So here we have it, 7 successful blind buys that have come from my safe blind buy list. This strategy has served me well. It works for me. It may not work for everyone, but this is a way that I have found I can expand my perfume collection and find new discoveries while staying within my regular person perfume budget. I thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.